Konnichiwa and irashaimase. Hello and welcome back to the Tokyo Metropolitan Gymnasium where the table tennis action is going down. This is the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games and welcome to the wonderful world of table tennis. It is the final day of action here. We're down to only 2 tables. We've got 2 matches left for you. And on screen you can see the women's team classes 4 and 5 gold medal match between China and Sweden is what is about to go down. It'll all be played on this beautiful motif table. T for Tokyo, T for table tennis. Here's how they got here. China over Great Britain with an outstanding performance here from Megan Shackleton and Sue Bailey. And on the other side, Sweden getting through strongly as well to be here competing for the gold.
Yeah, one more chance for the 2 of them to take that gold finally, to at least playing in the finals is already a step up for the 2 of them after they have only came 4th in Rio 5 years ago now, but the 2 of them have a silver from the same team event in London.
So that is the Swedish team. The rackets are on the table. We'll tell you more about both of these pairings. Only 2 needed for the team event. Some will have 3, a third on the bench, but only 2 will be playing. So now we call out the team that has been so strong, a nation that has dominated table tennis over the years, and will be a very tough pair of opponents. It is Team China.
3-time consecutive Paralympic champions in this team event.
So the players will be Zhang Bian and Zhou Ying. Zhou Ying on the far left, Zhang Bian on the lead.
Both gold medalists in their classes 4 and 5 singles events.
So the format here will be doubles and then singles and singles. But first, let's meet Team Sweden.
It's Ingela Lundbäck, class 5 player, who only made it to the quarterfinals in the singles event, and Anna-Karin Åquist, one of the best class 3 players, so physically speaking at a disadvantage here. Was disappointed with a loss in her quarterfinals in the singles as well. Here a chance to make up for it.
So again, we will start off with the doubles. 2 singles to follow should 2 matches be needed. In the team contest, it is the first team to win 2 matches that takes the gold medal. So only the players will be out there as we get into the coin toss here. It seems that the Chinese pair has won the toss and chose to serve, and the Swedish pair have chosen the right side of the table, which is relative to the umpire, his right. So they'll check each other's equipment here, because if you're newer to table tennis, equipment is a game changer in every sense. You can see different surfaces on the racket there, the long pips on the black side, maybe shorter pips on the red side. That's got to be AC, Anna-Karin's racket.
Yeah, this pips especially common in lower classes, but the Chinese and other Asian players often use them in classes 4 and 5 as well in wheelchair table tennis. So this double should be interesting. A lot of different rubbers clashing against each other.
And in case you're curious, what's the difference? How do they affect the ball differently? The smooth rubber, almost, I would say probably 95% of the time, or maybe even more, we refer to as inverted, or normal in quotes rubber. It's just the most common for spinning the ball, which is very important for being able to attack and play a speed game. Now, pips tend to slow the ball down. Pips are those bumps that look like Legos, often called pimples in many parts of the world as well. the longer they are, the more defensive they become. Which means if you're playing against someone with long pips and you hit a very heavy topspin ball, it'll come back as underspin. So it gives you a taste. I guess it sort of flips the script. It just changes things up. It's a very tricky game to play. And if you've got one side of the racket fast and spinny and the other side defensive and slow, the opponent really has to watch closely and listen to the sound. So that's why they do check the rackets beforehand to make sure they know what they're getting into, what they should expect, and what sort of tactics they will play to avoid getting trapped by their opponent.
And since slower classes are limited in their balance and speed at the table, they are making use of those kind of rubbers even more often.
So let's talk about the game a bit. Games are played to 11 points apiece. Each match, each individual match here, a little confusion there. Synchronicity is such an important factor here. I think they laughed that off.
Yeah, let's hope they do better at the table.
Yeah, when the ball's hit in the middle. So in many doubles events, say at the Olympics for non-para players, you would have to alternate hits in doubles. But here for players in classes 1 through 5 in wheelchairs, they do not have to alternate. The only set order of play is the serve and receive. The serve must go cross-court from the right side of the table to the opponent's right side of the table. And after that, it is all open. Anyone can hit the ball at any time, but your wheelchair cannot cross the middle line, which extends indefinitely. Now, players often in the lower classes strap their rackets into their hands because of less control with the palm, less grip, so it helps make sure that they don't lose the racket. Now, in terms of seated players, I've learned that the lower body is very, I'd say, not so dependable, more so there, but it's all on the upper body, so you'll see players pushing off the table after they hit the shot to rebalance themselves.
Yeah, this is a nice opportunity to see side by side with the Swedish players, for example, Class 5 Lundbäck and Class 3 Anna-Karin Åquist, just to compare what a difference this upper body balance can bring.
Now, normally in a lot of standing events, a left-handed, right-handed combination can be very effective for sharing the middle of the table with forehands, but in the wheelchair events, not exactly the same story.
No, here it's more or less a disadvantage, as you again can observe with the Swedes. In this positioning, both players will have their playing arms towards the middle, and when they change positions, both will have the playing arms away from the middle. And since this middle ground is a space where they tend to either clash or none of the players go for the ball, it's even more dangerous. However, the Swedes have been playing together in doubles as well for a long time now, so I'm sure they won't have too much of a problem with it. Or if they do, they've gotten used to it.
Or maybe they got it all out of their system during the high five. Ping Pong Chio. I could only see the first 3 characters there, and the Chinese on the side of the wheelchair. Now, if you haven't spent a lot of time watching athletes in wheelchairs play, the wheelchairs are much like bodies. A big part of their bodies is they spend so much time in them, so you will see a lot of identity on the wheelchairs, from Chinese flags or Swedish flags or designs, decorations, a form of expression. Quick shout out to our umpires, Choi Chang-sung of Korea, the umpire for the match, and assistant umpire for this match, Michel Hermans of Belgium. Maybe Herman. So when you see a player breathe on the racket like that and wipe it off, they're cleaning the spinny rubber to make sure that the dust doesn't settle, that they have full traction. Here we go, best of 5 match, first team to win 3 games, love all. Bit of an escape here. Lundbäck saying, sorry teammate, but we got away with that one, fortunately. Bit more aggressive attempt here, spinny backhand receive, but good spin on the serve for the point for the Chinese pairing.
Great covering of the middle by Anna-Karin with her backhand side. Yeah, she's a tricky player with those 2 pimpled rubbers. We don't get to see that very often, even in wheelchair events.
Normally when you have a player with pips on both sides or pimpled rubbers on both sides, one side is a little bit shorter for attacking. It gives options. They can twiddle or turn the racket around to change things up mid-rally. Ooh, an omiyage. It's Japanese for gift. Getting it out of the system early here. Swedes in the lead.
Yeah, but with Anna-Karin, because she has multiple sclerosis, it's this change of her rubbers on the racket that she's trying to compensate with the technique, with the confusion for the opponent, for her, well, deteriorating health.
So also multiple pips on the racket. We do find that players with different, say, even if it's trouble reading a serve, sometimes long pips can be very good on the receive.
Yeah, they are killing some of that speed and rotation, so it's easier no matter what comes your way.
Right, just stick it out there. It's like a big shield, a bounce back. But with the spin reversal makes it really tricky for the opponent, and it's unusual to face. Good placement into that middle. Now, often when we talk about middles in table tennis, we're talking about, hey, panjamin. We're talking about that elbow, the crossover point between the forehand and the backhand.
Yeah, and that is an issue, but in doubles, even more so is this middle ground, and we're just now seeing the Swedes discussing what to do if that keeps happening. And it will, because the players know it, of course.
Right. In the wheelchair events and doubles, that seems to be the sweet spot, the target. It's always a bit different to calibrate to the attack coming off of those pips. You can hear the sound and the ball just sort of knuckles at a different pace. It really changes the rhythm and timing for the opponent.
Yeah, when you counter that, you kind of have to, well, count.
Yeah, right.
1 for topspin, 2 for backspin, and so on.
Good pressure on the parallel topspin this time around after the slower shot cross court, right down the line for the win. Beautiful shot, Pyongyang indeed, a beautiful backhand. And they were both going for it, so it took some real confidence and authority to step up and make that shot as aggressively as she did.
Yeah, once you decide to do it, you shouldn't hesitate or shy away from it.
So 1 point lead for the Chinese pair on the receive now.
Alquist signaling her serve.
She's done an excellent job of varying it up and keeping it really awkward and uncomfortable for the opponents. You and I have talked about how there are more upsets in doubles. Long dead serve. Good receive from Lundbeck.
Yeah, and often for a team where the players individually are not as strong as their opponents, or with at least on paper, it's the doubles that can give them a chance to win the match. No weak players in this quartet on this table now.
Yeah, we don't see anyone getting targeted as the person to hit to over and over. Kick serve here, topspin in the second bounce, jumps out, finds the edge of the racket. It is game point for the Swedes. And down the middle of the table, the knuckling shot. It is AC and Ingela who take game number one. The Swedes up 1-0 over China in the first match of the team event, the women's teams class 4 and 5 gold medal match. Game two coming right up. Players back to the table for game two. Zhang Bian on screen with Zhou Ying to her left on the right side there. Down 0-1 in games, but a very narrow margin victory for the Swedes. That's probably the most confusion we've seen from the Chinese pair. They cover the middle so well. They're always swinging just to make sure it doesn't cruise past.
And also the first really long rally, too.
Lundbeck's serve has been causing some trouble for both the receivers now. She's tested out each of the pair.
Yeah, and that is surprising because, well, the Chinese are usually the ones to cause problems with their serve, and even so, in the doubles, it shouldn't be that much effective.
Moving in quickly, Lundbeck right in behind the net. She's caught the ball early a few times here, and even going to the length of the table, so much surprise factor and pace on that ball.
Yeah, and the edges are difficult to counter when you're sitting where you are in a doubles match.
I love the glove for AC. That colorful glove, it's just for the thumb and two front fingers, is that right?
Yep. It's that grip improvement or aid.
So functional and fashionable. F squared, classic combination for anything that people can see. 3 points apiece here at the first towel break. Neither side going for the towel, but they have the opportunity every 6 points, should they need it. Good counter there. They were able to get back the flatter knuckling ball from AC. That's Anna-Karin Ahlqvist, the Swedish legend. But this one is fast and wide. Perfect shot from Zhang Bian on the backhand. Watch how wristy this is. Not a lot of backswing either. Keeps the elbow high. Again, when you're low, you're seated. Not easy to play that shot.
Did you see those nails, though?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's exactly what I was thinking. We see a lot of team spirit and patriotism out here. They know they're playing for their country.
Well, and this is a women's final, so.
That's true. We do see less flags on the men's nails in general during the finals. But the semifinals, man, those men and their manicures, crazy. 7-3, the Chinese pair leading now. They put the man in manicures. My timing on that was a little bit late. I'll come up with a better pun sometime next week. 3 points between them now. Sweden making their way back in, closing the gap. Good placement right between the two. And AC, Alquist was getting a bit off to that forehand side of the table, which created that opening.
Yeah, and that is this position for the Swedes where they both have their playing arms away from the middle.
Right.
So it's not only important where the ball bounces off, but also in which direction it's going.
And this time they got the high five perfectly. I don't know if you noticed that, but massive improvement from the pre-match high five. It's always tough to return an attack that's got underspin on it. Bit of a tomahawk attack there from the forehand with side and underspin from Zhang Bian. I feel like it was just yesterday I watched her YouTube video with Waldner. So good. And now 5 game points for the Chinese pair to make a real statement here. After barely being beaten in game number 1, dominating game number 2, 5 game points for Zhang and Zhou. Lundbeck with that pressure. She moves in very well. Her positioning, I just feel like she's always in the right position, or it seems that way.
Yeah, very long reach as well for her. She's a tall player.
But too much heat from the corner. It is Zhou Ying with the finishing shot. 11-6, China takes game number 2. So we're tied up at 1 game apiece. It is the first match in a best-of-3 gold medal team matchup. China has evened the playing field, and we'll see who takes the leads. The Swedes or the Chinese pair. Game 3 coming right up. Players back to the table for game number 3. Nothing between them now, although points-wise, the Chinese pair outscoring their Swedish opponents by quite a bit.
There's that uncomfortable middle once again.
Well exploited. Good look on the Chinese side to start it off.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. They have been making good use of that in game number 2 especially. So why not again?
Nice parallel attack here to get on the scoreboard.
Yeah, this was much more in her comfort zone. Really good shot from the middle here.
Yeah, I've been quite impressed with the way she covers the elbow using the backhand. Watch AC. Forehand here. Oh.
Yeah, but the backhand before, I mean, hurts my wrist just to watch that.
Well, if you look away, I'll understand. Chinese flag right there on the back of the chair. Even on the lower parts and personalized, you can see Zhou Ying down at the axle.
I can understand that because a lot of the Chinese squad have the same wheelchair supplier as well and similar wheelchairs, so it's much more easy at the airport, I imagine, when like 50 of them come out of a plane to find the right one for each player.
Sort of like the paper cups at the office in the break room. Got to put something on it so we know it's yours. Decent high five. I'd give that one more of an 8 out of 10. Palms didn't really connect, but we'll see how they sync up here in the point. 3 points each. Nice change up.
There, yeah.
They do mix it up well. The Chinese pair goes deep to the corner there and then back more into the middle, right at the body of Lindbeck.
Yeah, that was good. It just goes to show how much more successful the Chinese are when they're searching for that middle. Because the corners the Swedes have covered.
And this is the setup where the Swedes cover the middle with their forehands.
In theory.
Right. There's simply less space there in this setup. That backhand is very difficult. She plays it fast, and again, not a lot of rotation on the ball.
Yeah, this is why I said in theory. As you can see, the Swedes actually both playing their backhand side even in this setup.
Big opportunity here. The Swedes in the lead once again, but this time by 2 points at the second towel break.
They found their rhythm in that middle, I think, and we'll see if they can do as well now that they've changed positions.
That's right. I guess every 2 points, the Swedes have their forehands on the corners of the table, and then 2 points later, they'll have the middle covered with the forehands. Acknowledging the fortune off the top of the net there to break the rhythm. See how short it left the ball. Still able to keep some contact with the chair. Now, there are a few rules in the wheelchair events. You must maintain contact with the seat of your chair.
Yeah, the Chinese Class 3 players had a lot of problems with that in one of their team events. But it hasn't been an issue here so far.
I remember it like it was yesterday. Was it yesterday? I don't remember. Man,
easy to mix up the days here.
Time flies when you're having fun, and man, this competition has been intense from the start.
And to be fair, we have been following a lot of the same players in the singles and in team events. And
we do have so many different classes. So, The fascination continues and the plot thickens as the Swedes up by 2 at the business end of the game. Zhang Bian here. Oh, that counter is too good. An inside-out forehand down the middle of the table. You could see the bend on the ball as it sailed to the barriers.
At first, it was up to the Swedes to cover that middle ground, but now the Chinese have also, I think, gotten the grip on the returns that are coming from there.
That last shot was very brave. A quick decision. Zhang Bian was able to just power it down the line. So Lundbeck thinking deeply here about the serve to come. She's had an effective service game. Signals to AC. Now this is big. It's not over yet, but this game point, if they can capitalize on this, as you and I both have seen, the doubles can be very telling. And in this case, it might be very necessary to extend the overall team match to the 3rd match.
It would give the Swedes a fighting chance, at least in this final.
But the receive game strong. Zhou Ying with that bold receive, just like Zhang Bian. They've both been very unafraid. Played some gutsy shots in risky situations, and it's paid off both times in the last 2 attempts. Good surprise factor there. Racket high. Tough to tell where she's going to go with that flick. So game point once again, 2nd time around for Ahlqvist and Lundbeck. Says, come on, we're going to get the ball over here. Lundbeck, Lund business. A little bit off the net, the fortune there, but the follow-up attack by Lundbeck, an outstanding finishing shot to take care of business. So a 2-1 lead. The Swedish pair 1 game away from securing their first match. But we shall see. It's going to be a tricky battle by a narrow margin once again. And the other order of play favored the Chinese pairing quite a bit, 11-6. So you won't want to miss it. Game 4 coming right up. Players back to the table for game number 4. They are Lundbeck at the table, but she is Lundbeck with Ahlqvist here 1 game away. Zhang Bian on screen there for a moment with Zhou Ying looking to take this to the deciding game number 5.
Oh.
That's a rare occasion that we've seen them clash in that way that didn't result in a shot coming back on the table.
Yeah, but in this, in the fight of a game, sometimes you forget to check in, and of course, always better for both players to go for it than none of them.
I agree 100%. That's the most I can agree. Nice placement here. Bit more shallow. Ahlqvist back deep in that corner.
Yeah, she's set up quite far away from the table. In this setup, at least. but it seems to be working for her backhand in particular.
Now, from the look of things, these are the points that the Swedes can't afford. The short play, the touch shots where they just sort of end the points a little bit early before they really put a threat on the opponent. Ooh. I think a fourth, sorry, maybe fifth there. Very sorry, acknowledging the fortune for that quite devastating net shot that stayed out of reach. Again, the pips on the red side for that flatter shot and the change of pace and the wide angles as well, which you'll see more in the singles game. So a few in the bank.
Again, some misunderstanding here.
But also a few in the bank, I would say, in terms of table tennis karma right now. The Swedes with a few skimming the net. So tying up the score now at 4 points each. China must win this game. If they want to win the match, it's their only chance to send it to game 5. Swedes 1 game away. They finish this game. They start the team matchup strong.
And we now saw Anna-Karin signaling Ingela what to serve. This is not uncommon since it's often the team partner who will have to deal with the return after the serve.
Although not as often as, say, in non-para events where it's standing and it's required. So still a bit of mystery there in terms of the third ball. Usually in commentating, say, at the Olympics or whatnot, you'd say signaling for the third ball attack. I guess the intention might be the same, but knowing that the server might hit the third ball, still what the partner might think is most effective. Perfect placement right at the baseline.
Yeah, the other thing is also that sometimes the team partner just can't really do well after the return on a certain serve, which might work for the server but not for the team partner. So if they keep losing points with that, they have to fix it somehow.
Nice change of pace here, left out in front of Zhou Ying. Again, you've got two world #1 players on the other side of the table. Zhou Ying, world #1 in class 4, a little bit less mobility, balance rather. Her bounce is probably fine. See if she can bounce back with her teammate from a 5-7 deficit.
Oof. Good start.
Yeah, I think they still have another 1 or 2 IOUs left in the TTKB, the Table Tennis Karma Bank.
That's not how it works, but I'm sure they'd rather win this doubles match and not have to go all out for the 2 singles afterwards.
It was very dark. I like it. That's not how it works. There is no magic. 7 points apiece. We will see. This is the most cautious point we've seen yet. It looked like later in some of the other gold medal matches we've called recently. Lundbeck with that opening attack was the first one to go aggressive in a very cautious placement push rally.
Yeah, this is what can happen if you do it too often.
Well, somebody's got to be brave, and out here, Zhang Bian sets it up very well. That fast, long push right to the baseline, and then the finishing attack by Zhou Ying ties it up. The service master, Lundbeck. And it looked like a good shot, played it short. Tough to tell the height from here, but Zhou Ying so quick to get in, catches the ball at its peak and just rips through.
Some more determination on the Chinese side now. Anna-Karin very well here from her forehand side to the backhand and even towards the middle, so Lundbäck was in her way.
And now we've got 2 game points on the Chinese side. The ladies in pink at the top of the screen here with the serves. And the pressure, Zhou Ying cross court takes it 11-8. So you know what to do. Grab those healthy snacks and beverages and tell your friends where they need to be right here watching the decider. Game number 5, China and Sweden coming right up. So this is where the action comes to an end in the first match. It is the decider. This will decide whether it's Sweden or China who is 1 match away from a gold medal.
Careful start.
It's always tricky to read how much topspin is on a shot that comes off of pips with a very wristy sort of spinning motion.
Oh, this is that karma coming back.
So, Miss Universe. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it does seem that they still, I mean, they're starting to cash in some of the IOUs from earlier in the match. The fortune against them from the Swedes. So China tying it up here on the receive now.
Well, this is one way to decide the match. Not much in terms of tactics that you can do about it. On the other hand, it just goes to show how many more net touches we have when we're playing push-in backspin returns.
Yeah, these shots don't arc as much. They need to stay low to the net, so they do tend to flirt with that white line across the top of the net. But that white line just wants a serious relationship, so stay away. Best rally so far for me. That was outstanding.
Really good, and again recovered from a net ball, the Chinese, so well-earned point.
So a tough act to follow, but just 1 point down. Zhou Ying's second serve. That was very close, and I think they called the serve on the wrong side. The Swedish pair doing the right thing to play it anyway, but it did appear to bounce on Lundbäck's side.
I didn't see it that way, but it could seem like it did to the Swedes. I can understand that.
Or to the guy sitting next to you, for example. Definitely close. Not easy to tell without a replay. So 4-2, the Swedes in the lead. The recovery there, first of all, the block, when it comes back off those pips so fast, we had 2 forehands in a row from Zhou Ying in that. These are the big, expensive shots that take a lot of time to recover from, and she did it twice in a row. So now they will switch halves of the table and also order of play, just so that everything is as balanced and fair as possible. Zhou Ying making sure that she's in the right space here.
Yeah, that's what they're discussing now. Because serve stays with the same team.
So it's a second serve looking at the scoreboard. Whoever served the last point would serve once again. And that is AC, Anna-Karin Almqvist. Nice placement here from Zhou Ying into the middle and testing the backhand reach of Lundbäck.
Yeah, just hit it with the edge of the racket.
Now, we don't see that too often. Good pushing, but a shorter push. And Lundbäck is very good at moving in towards the net, but here she was, I'd say, exposed a bit with that touch shot shorter. And 2 in a row now. So 3 points in a row for the Chinese pair after they switch sides of the table, down 2-5, dead even here.
Yeah, she has a long reach, Lundbäck, but in the double she's sitting even a bit further away from the table. And especially when you're expecting a long serve, you can come short.
Yeah, the Chinese pair has been, as you said, very effective in their fast, long serves, so you can understand why the Swedish receiver would be a little bit deeper on the table.
Did her part with her serves, though, Lundbäck. And yeah, this is the combination where her serve was the most effective.
I think we might have Sweat Squad here for a moment. Hey, they're back. Lundbäck was the only one to go for the towel on that towel break. Sweat Squad, so good to see you. These are the volunteers that keep the table clean and hygienic and safe for all the players. Different standards here at Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games, just to make sure that everybody's safe. A well-placed serve here. The flick goes just long. 1 point between them now.
Oh, that was not ideal.
Although for the Chinese team, pretty close to ideal. Ties it up 7 points apiece. Yeah, it was a bit surprising for Lundbäck. She had the full swing on the forehand side. Sort of an unusual opportunity in that point.
Yeah, and that's why I think it surprised her and just caused a little bit of hesitation.
How many times have we seen AC pull that shot off from deep on the table? Again, with those pips, she's so comfortable to guide it forward and drive it to the baseline. 1 point lead again for the Swedes. It's been a cat and mouse game here, but the Swedes have been in front for the majority.
Yeah, this is where the return was meant to go after the first serve by Anna-Karin, but was just a few centimeters more to Almqvist's side. Enough to make all the difference.
Oh, they're back and forth in the luck as well, the fortune. I mean, they say fortune favors the brave. It was the opening attack there from Lundbäck. 1 point lead again for the Swedes. Big serve for China, Zhou Ying. That's a bit surprising to me. The push was on the parallel, but it didn't seem surprisingly fast. It sat up a little bit, and now the Swedes with 2 match points with their ace server on the serves. And they do it. The Swedes take the match in the deciding 5th game. A strong start for Anna-Karin Ahlqvist and Ingela Lundbäck. Outstanding performance to take down the world number 1s, the defending gold medalists in the team events. Zhang Bian and Zhou Ying really have a tough battle ahead now. They're strong players, but the Swedes needed this, and they started with exactly what they need to give themselves the best shot at the gold medal against a very strong pair of opponents.
Their work is far from being done, though. Now it will be Anna-Karin Ahlqvist who has to face a class 5, so 2 classes higher than her own gold medalist, Zhang Bian.
We will see if a legend in Class 3 can beat a legend, the world number 1 of Class 5. That'll be an interesting matchup. And that matchup will come up in just a bit, so as Sweat Squad cleans the table, we'll have a moment to see the match stats likely, and then Zhang Bian versus AC, Anna-Karin Ahlqvist, coming right up.
Again, a title that she retained in 2018. Played 5 matches here in Tokyo and won all 5 in the singles and teams. Played 18 games and won 15 of them with an 83% win ratio.
さあ次のカードシングルスまず中華人民共和国ジャン・ビエン選手ご紹介しておきましょう。ロンドンとリオそして東京3連覇というナンバー1プレーヤーです。元世界選手権チャンピオンでもあります。2014年に北京で金メダル。アジアチャンピオンでもあります。5回のタイトルを獲得しています。さらに現役のアジアゲームスのチャンピオンでもあります。34歳ナンバー1ランク。今回のシングルスのデータを見てみますと、5戦5勝全勝です。ゲーム数も見ておきますと18ゲームのうち15ゲーム取ってその確率 83% 高い確率を残しています。さあ一つまずダブルスで落とした中国後がなくなりました。この後シングルスジャン・ビエン選手登場です。
So, Zhang Bian, 34-year-old, world ranked number 1 in her class, and we've got the world ranked number 1 in class 3 in Anna-Karin Ahlqvist. Representing Sweden. She's 49 years of age, current European champion, has won the title on 6 consecutive occasions. She was Paralympic gold medalist from London 2012 and won bronze in Rio. World bronze medalist from 2018. She won silver in 2014 and 2010 with the team. The team are previous European champions and took silver in 2019. She's played 5 matches here in singles and teams, won 4 and lost 1, 17 games played, won 12, lost 5, a 71% win ratio.
対するはスウェーデンアンナ・カリン・アルクイスト選手です。ヨーロッパでは敵なし6回連続チャンピオンの座を守っています。2012年ロンドンでは金メダル獲得しました。リオでは銅でした。2018年世界選手権でも銅メダル。遡って14年と10年には銀メダルを獲得しています。団体戦前回のヨーロッパチャンピオン、2019年は銀メダリスト。49歳ベテランのプレーヤーアルクイスト選手です。今回シングルス東京での成績を見ていきましょう。5戦戦って4勝1敗です。17ゲームプレーして12ゲーム取っています。その確率 71% となっています。さあスウェーデンダブルスをまず取りました。続いてのシングルスアルクイスト選手登場です。
we have a little bit more time before this match gets underway. Let's just analyse a little bit further Zhang Bian and Anna-Karin Ahlqvist, their points that they've received here in Tokyo. So I did mention that they both played 5 matches. Zhang Bian has won 5, Anna Ahlqvist has won 4. Drilling down a little bit further in that detail, Ahlqvist won 173 points in total, 93 on her serve, 80 on her opponents. She's lost 123 points, 54 on her serve and 69 on the opponents. Whereas Bien, by comparison, has won 189 points, that's compared with 173 from Ahlqvist. Of those 189, she won 110 points on her serve, 79 on her opponents. Lost, ironically enough, they virtually lost the same number of points in the same number of matches. 124 Bien and 123 Ahlqvist. And of those points lost, 51 for Bien were lost on her serve, 54 for Ahlqvist on her serve. So not a great deal to choose between them in that respect. So, match about to get underway. Ahlqvist world ranked number 1 in class 3, and Bien is also ranked number 1 in her class.
さあ両者揃いまして2戦目に入っていきます。中華人民共和国対スウェーデンの一戦。
Welcome back to the table. We've got Zhang Bian on screen, 35 years old, a three-peat gold medalist in Class 5, the world number 1 who took London, Rio, and right here, Tokyo 2020. And on the other side of the table, AC Anna-Karin Ahlqvist, 49 years old, a gold in London 2012, a bronze in Rio, but she is Class 3. So she's playing up 2 classes right now against the world number 1. This should be a very challenging battle.
No doubt, but Anna-Karin is a fighter. Apart from her multiple sclerosis diagnosis, she's also been diagnosed with breast cancer a couple of years ago, had to undergo a mastectomy and was back to competitions just a month later.
So if I hear what you're saying correctly, you're saying she's no stranger to a challenge?
Yeah, that's an understatement of the year.
Wow.
She herself said that she doesn't want neither of her disabilities to define her. She's Anna-Karin, she doesn't want the illnesses having an impact on her personality, and she has more experience now, maybe a couple of things that she'd prefer to have left out. Nevertheless, another really interesting thing that she mentioned is that after her mastectomy operation, she understands how much easier it is for the guys to play because they don't have their breasts in their way and can lean much further over the table. And that actually some of her training colleagues mentioned that she has a much better reach since that happened. So you see, as far as seeing a positive in every possible situation goes.
Wow, silver lining indeed. This will be very interesting to see. It's cool to know. I mean, I've only learned her personality through watching her videos, but you over the years have probably gotten a chance to know this fighter much better than most.
Yeah, some of my hardest battles were against her, so I wouldn't give up on her in this one either.
She starts strong with the first point. For those of you just joining us, this is a best-of-5 match, which means first player to win 3 games wins the match, and if it's Ahlqvist of Sweden, Sweden takes the gold. It's interesting, with funky styles and different rotations off the pips, it's going to take some adjusting from Zhang Bian.
Yeah, as a class 5, she's more used to this top spin faster game, so at least at the start, Anna-Karin could try to surprise her with the pimps as much as possible.
Going risky on the serve. I think we have to acknowledge the shot before that, though, to the deep backhand corner. Zhang Bian with perfection on that deep shot.
3-2.
A quick streak here. Zhang Bian with 3 in a row after 0-2 down.
3-all.
It's funny, when you were talking about her not wanting to be defined by her disabilities, I was just thinking, yeah, I can't imagine anyone really does. There are certain players, you know, Ibrahim Hamato playing with the racket in his mouth, but I think that just speaks a little bit more to his undying effort to overcome and his love for table tennis, you know?
Yeah, and with Anna Karin's diagnosis of multiple sclerosis, it's unfortunately the kind of condition that keeps deteriorating and takes more and more effort to overcome, and also in table tennis a lot of adjustment of your play over the years.
Which makes it even more impressive that at 49 she's playing as well as she is. That last serve that we saw was so fast to that corner. The serve must come off the back of the table. That was perfectly placed. Now that is a rule that applies to the wheelchair players. The serve must eventually come off the back of the table. So you can serve short, but too much backspin will make the ball come to rest on the table. Beautiful backhand to the deep corner here. Ahlqvist fighting and extends her lead to 2.
Yeah, she was in perfect position to take this shot here. And this is, I think Zhang Bian noticed it, tried to move her closer to the table before attacking.
Smart setup, good tactic. We'll see if she can keep it up out here. Definitely trying for it. Shorter to the forehand once again. But a let service. No limit to how many lets you can serve. If you can live forever, you can do it forever. And a change up here after the let service. So cleans the spinny rubber, the black side of the racket. Zhang Bian now ready, tied up on the receive. I think tactically it's the right look. She's going for her shots. She's playing very, I'd say, with clear tactics.
Yeah, she has to, against the class 5 and the class of a player that Zhang Bian is. You just have to keep her on her toes all the time, keep putting pressure, because one easy ball is enough to finish the rally in the Chinese favor.
So 4 points in a row for Zhang Bian. Ah, good coverage here. The tactic has been denied. Good reach to the wide forehand, gets herself back up. Ahlqvist within 1.
Yeah, but on Zhang's part, this is what she should be exploiting, her better physicalities.
Wow. Again, it's not easy for a player with the same condition to bring herself back after these stretching forehand shots, but she gets about 4 in a row back and forth. Big serves here to come, 9 points each. Ahlqvist playing for a gold medal. Zhang Bian playing for survival of China to go to the 3rd and deciding match for a gold. Well, now we've got game point for the underdog. Again, being world ranked #1 and a champion of so many things, battling, fighting through. Ahlqvist now in a very interesting position. Second serve, game point. Smart play, sees the chair turned and goes right down the line.
Excellent.
I mean, she just like an architect, designed that point from beginning to end and watched every single turn of her opponent. That took so much skill. Again, Class 3 world #1 versus Class 5 #1.
Yeah, that's just so great to watch. And yeah, having played Class 3 myself, even if I should be objective here, I'm just really so glad to see one of my own battling on, well, the best Class 5 player in the world.
Well, it will be exciting either way, and regardless of who wins this, I always love a long, exciting match. So we shall see Game 2, China versus Sweden, Zhang Bian versus Anna-Karin Ahlqvist, coming right up.
Second game, Ahlqvist to serve, love out.
Players back for game number 2. Ahlqvist leading 1-0 over the 3-time consecutive gold medalist of Class 5, China's Zhang Bian. Too powerful here. Good move in on the short ball, and then the follow-up attack. Well played, Zhang Bian. Oh, this one comes back way out of reach. Very aggressive tactics here from Ahlqvist.
Yeah, but she's recognized that she should have played that last shot to the other side of the table. Yeah, that was the plan.
There's the side.
Let 2, 1.
It's funny in terms of the, I don't know, determination of Ahlqvist. Looking at her arms, it's very clear she's a hard worker, no questions.
1, 3.
But when she gets just a little bit behind the table, it's really tough to cover these wider balls.
Yeah, she likes to sit a bit away from the table and lean forward like you see here, but yeah, when she gets too short a shot after that, it can be a problem.
And it was you who described this to help me understand, but watching a player attack, when they lean forward like that, coming back up, you could see the chair actually roll back quite a bit after that shot.
Yeah, your bottom goes backwards when you lean forwards, and that can bring the chair backwards as well. So pushing you even further away from the table.
Good precision here right on the elbow of her opponent, Ahlqvist, getting Zhang with the racket head straight up. An attempted short defensive play here just to mix it up, Zhang Bian. Now head-to-head, interestingly enough, I just looked it up, you might think this is a landslide victory, that Zhang Bian maybe would have never lost to Anna-Karin Ahlqvist before, but not the case. Ahlqvist has won 2 of their 6 encounters. So she's 2-4, not a bad record, considering the difference in classes.
And she's doing very well again here. There was just a little bit too much on the racket of Zhang Bian. And she was accurate with that deep long backhand.
Oh, nice angle here. Perfect read on this. Takes a risk and goes really short and wide. Watch where this exits the table. Not even halfway down to the baseline and right on the sideline.
And that's the disadvantage of the pimpled rubber as well on a receive like that.
Good effort, good lean over to that forehand side. She pulls herself back up quickly. Perfect placement here. Zhang Bian to the deep backhand corner.
Yeah, from the middle, that has to be mentioned too, because Anna Karin took that middle with her backhand already and was too far away to go deep then.
This effort is outstanding. Alquist with some big attacks here, even a parallel. From behind the table, moves herself back in, but Zhang Bian holds steady. 3-point lead, second serve here.
7-9.
It's tough to rally with Anna Karin.
Yeah, and from a player who's used to a fast game and perhaps not having to think about two different pimpled rubbers.
Good placement here, a bit to the forehand side of the elbow, but gets the backhand out of Zhang Bian. Score-wise, it was starting to look like it was breaking open for Zhang Bian at 9-6, but Alquist took the next 2 points. Big serve here. I love how after those very aggressive shots, she's able to completely change the pace and rhythm, slow it down and wait for the opportunity, and leaves the pressure on Zhang Bian.
Yeah, and she had the right idea twice, Zhang Bian, just the execution wasn't perfect. Which can cause her now to be a bit more hesitant.
Right, tense, nervous, lacking confidence possibly. Oh, this one's just too good. Right at the baseline of the table, a beautiful backhand. Doesn't go for the complete corner, but the depth is all there.
Yeah, that's all that we could see from her hesitation in this point, is just not narrowing in on that edge with the first attack.
Alquist with the angle after the defense, the recoveries from around. It's tough to imagine how much work it is. You've talked about all that she's been through, but she looks so strong to have been through it and still fighting here. I mean, this is for a 2-0 lead if she can take this game. And she's 1 point away from a 2-0 lead. It is not unthinkable. She's done it twice before. This is for gold for Sweden. This match between Alquist and Zhang Bian, game point first time around for AC Alquist. With fast long serve here, Zhang Bian's service game has been strong. Some very bold play, aggressive down the middle from the middle, and it's game point now to Zhang Bian. Fighting a game point, saving one, and earning her own. Just long, perfect placement. Zhang Bian finds the very corner of the table, and she survives a narrow margin victory here, 13-11 to tie it up. So these two have a long match ahead potentially, but the battle continues in game number 3 coming right up.
Third game, Zhang to serve, love out.
And we're back. Game number 3. It is Zhang Bian with the serves, Anna-Karin Ahlqvist on the receive.
Love 1.
Such a close match so far, and some beautiful rallies.
2 love.
Surprising even to think that should Anna-Karin win this match, it's gold for Sweden already, as they also took the doubles.
That would not have been the prediction of most looking at the head-to-head between these pairs, these teams. I mean, how many times now for China? Was it 3 consecutive gold medals in this event?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That flat forehand, the power through after the long serve. She sets the tone, turns on the music, sets the mood, and gets exactly what she wants here with that forehand down the middle.
Yeah, and that's the 2 shots that cost her game number 2. So even that much more decision in them now for game number 3.
Takes some real bravery to come back after something like that didn't work for you.
4-2.
I like the wrist here from Zhang Bian on that. The last moment before contacting, you can see that snap of the wrist to add some spin to that shot for security.
Difficult to read, of course, and deep into the backhand, difficult to reach in each case. Sometimes even the pimpled rubbers don't do all the work.
As a matter of fact, just to piggyback on your point, the equipment itself, I give all the credit to the athlete.
Oh yeah, it is just the equipment, of course.
Right.
As always, one has to know what to do with it, how to use it best.
It's funny, within table tennis, in the table tennis world, a lot of people really can't stand long pips, but it's the player who learns how to use it, and they're accessible. Anyone can go out and buy them and learn how to use them or learn how to play against them.
Yeah, for me, honestly, I've known a lot of players who had a problem with them, but for me, it was actually just easier to play against a player with long pips. So
once you learn how to, it can be a key to success throughout.
yeah, perhaps for the non-professional, it's an issue.
6-4.
That was an absolutely professional backhand off the corner here from the middle. Zhang Bian back within 2. Watch her set it up with that deep push. She gets one a little bit loose. Ahlqvist acknowledging the excellence, says, yes, I see what happened here. That was excellent. I'm ready for the next point.
6-5.
A little bit more cautious play for placement here. Zhang Bian keeping it deep, just sort of working it around the table, but not going for a big shot. We've seen Ahlqvist counter back some of those big shots in a way that's not really allowed time for Zhang Bian to recover.
Yeah, but this is exactly what Zhang Bian's now doing to Anna-Karin Ahlqvist. Just moving her from one side of the table to the other, hoping that she wouldn't get that perfect shot in.
Tactically, I think it's very smart. It's not easy to do. Oh, but well played here. A bit of side spin to make this one carry out of reach from the baseline. Take another look. Long serve to the backhand. Net ball there, but takes advantage, jabs at the side of it.
Yeah, I was just going to say that in this case, I think it actually benefited Zhang Bian that this ball touched the net and had less energy and spin in it. So it was easier for her to shorten it as she did.
5 points in a row now for Zhang Bian, who was down 3-6.
6-9.
Little net here, but the angle's right. I mean, that's going to be a tough ball either way, just even more out of reach when the net slows it down. Now, if I'm not mistaken, last game, there was a 9-6 lead for Zhang Bian, and it still went to 13-11 in her favor. So we know that AC can come back. Ooh, one more off the net. Still almost comes into play, but it's 3 game points for Zhang Bian with the second serve here at game point. Good pressure on the receive, good placement as well to shut down that wide forehand opportunity that's been exploited.
Yeah, the same idea, but you can't just play the same shot on every ball, because the placement is not going to be the same either.
So 1 game point saved. Alquist with the serves. Yeah, and I think what you just described is the job of Alquist, because in theory you can play the same shot all day long until your opponent proves to you that it's not going to work. And one way to do that is by changing up the positioning of the ball, different placement on the table to create newer, more challenging angles for your opponent. 9 serving 10.
Oh.
And a gift at a crucial moment will be greatly appreciated by Zhang Bian. But an unfortunate ending for Alquist. A narrow escape again, just 2 points between them. They are back and forth, but it is a 2-1 lead for China's Zhang Bian. She's 1 game away from sending this to the deciding 3rd match. Game 4 coming right up.
Time. First game, Alquist to serve, love out.
Players back for game 4. Player with the lead. It's the lady in pink, Zhang Bian. And a Korean Alquist down 1-2. Starting game 4 strong. This is, well, a must-win in the sense that if she wants to secure the gold medal here and not leave it up to Ingela Lunebeck, she needs to send this to game 5, the decider for this match.
3 really close games so far.
Just a margin of 2 points in every game. The minimum required, the minimum required to win a game. Perfect placement here. Backspin and side spin to keep it out of reach.
Absolutely perfect, excellent tactics against Anna Karin, but it's, as we've mentioned, difficult to just play that short
And this
on
one,
every ball.
right, very nice angle. In terms of playing risky shots here, fearless play on the white of the line. Alquist out of reach, like a deer in headlights on the other side, just staring at it. Zhang Bian recognized it was out of reach.
2, 3.
Did she say think? Tough to
I
know.
didn't catch that, but it could be.
Could be.
Oh, this was amazing, but yeah. Unfortunately for the Swede, on display this difference between a class 5 and a class 3 player.
Yeah, we saw the wheel come completely up from Alquist, and she continued the point.
5, 2.
Now, I would probably call a timeout.
Time out.
Yeah,
Okay.
because she realizes, I think, that she's lost her thread a little bit here.
So not only the point differential, often a 3-point differential, a good time for a timeout when your player needs it, but sometimes you see the body language. A point goes a little bit loose. Ahlqvist has not given away many easy points at all. She's been fighting throughout. Tactically, she's been very smart, she's been very brave, and she's made some incredible points, but that last one was a bit out of character for her in this match, and she can't afford him at this point. So for those of you newer to table tennis, a timeout is allowed once per match by each side. So Zhang Bian still has her timeout should she need it. And the timeout is over when the player who calls it comes back to the table. So AC Ahlqvist, Anna Karin, is back to the table, and Zhang Bian has to join her with a 3-point lead, up 2-1 and a second serve on her side.
5-2.
Anna Karin, one of the players who I know has worked a lot on her mental preparation for the matches, I think ever since the Beijing Paralympic Games. So it could be her strong suit. And we could see that when she recognized right away when she needs a timeout.
But since the timeout, Zhang Bian with 2 points.
7-3.
Off the top of the net here, acknowledging the fortune, but Ahlqvist within 4 now, closing the gap by 1 point.
Normally we would try to serve as long as possible into the elbow, but here Zhang Bian very well recognized that a shorter serve with less energy is better, because it requires more work from Anna Karin to bring it back.
She came back from 6-9 down. What about 4-8? Just missing the corner long. It's getting really tough here. Zhang Bian, again, has played a very tactically smart game. She's looked calm. She's worked the table well. And it hasn't been easy thus far, but this is the biggest lead we've seen from her.
9-5.
One thing that I've noticed about some of the best in the game is their ability to come back. Their ability to maybe clear the scoreboard in their head and play the point like, I don't have to worry about the big picture yet, just the point that's here and now.
10-5.
And a fast, long serve sets up 5 game and match points for Zhang Bian. Right back to where it came from. Smart play behind the momentum as Anna Karin was moving back, and the smile comes out. A job well done. Not an easy opponent at all, but Zhang Bian pulls through. And a wry smile and head turn there from Anna Karin Ahlqvist. She gave an outstanding fight. The first 3, I mean, had she won, well, second and third, but they could have gone either way, although you could say that all day long.
Yeah, she's not going to be happy about having lost, but I think there's not really that much in terms of how she played that she could have done a lot better.
And that's something that you have to remember. I mean, if she ever watches this and hears our commentary, I hope she realizes that, yeah, here and there are certain shots that could have come down, but maybe for her opponent as well. I thought she played excellent table tennis. She kept it really, really suspenseful for the viewers at home and didn't seem fazed by almost anything. I mean, mentally, she was there, she was ready, she had a game plan, and she went for her shots executing a very high percentage.
Yeah, the only thing she can really blame herself for is that missed serve at the end of game 3.
Right. Well, you got to give her that in case she needs something. 32 minutes later, score on screen, 44-36. Interestingly enough, the first match, the Chinese pair, 1 point more than their Swedish opponents, yet they lost the match. It is just a reminder that never give up, because you can get beaten badly, but it's the first team or the first player in singles to win 3 games that wins the match. So we go to the deciding match the final match in this overall team matchup of Sweden versus China. It'll be Ingela Lundbäck versus Zhou Ying. That match coming right up.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the athletes for the men's team class 6 to 7 gold medal match.
男子団体クラス6 to 7決勝戦選手の入場です。
Team People's Republic of China.
中華人民共和国
Chen Chao, Liu Curly, Yan Shu. Versus Team Great Britain.
英国
Will Bailey, Paul Karabodai, so the umpires for this match are from Egypt. Sorry, from Hong Kong, China.
この試合の審判ご紹介しましょう。香港チャイナ、
Unji Kin, and from Finland,
フィンランド、
Asko Grazina. The match about to commence on back on the Sweden People's Republic of China is Zhou Ying and Ingela Lundbäck.
そして引き続き中華人民共和国対スウェーデンの試合ですけれども、第3試合に入っていきます。スウェーデンはインゲラ・ルンドバーグ選手、そして中国はジャウイン選手です。
So it's 1-1 on the far table. On the near table, we have People's Republic of China against Great Britain. Chen Chao, 34 years of age, world rank number 9 in class 6, part of the team that are the current Asian Games champions. Leo Curley, 31 years of age, world ranked number 4, class 7, bronze medalist here in the men's singles 7, and Yan Xiao, gold medalist in the Paralympic champion here in Tokyo, and quarterfinals, they beat Brazil 2-0.
So we are back for the action here. Ingela Lundbäck of Sweden at the top right of the screen, and Zhou Ying of China, 32 years old, world rank number 1 in class 4. And Ingela Lundbäck, world rank number 5 in class 5, 46 years old. That's sort of an interesting, combination of world rankings and classes. I'll be curious to see how the matchup works out here.
Yeah, and we have Joe here with really aggressive style of play right from the beginning with the warm-up, so should be interesting.
And that said, I'd say a relatively creative game from Lundbeck. Lundbeck, we've seen with some kick serves, some touch shots, a bit more change of pace, variety in that sense, but whatever works best. I'm sure Joe is capable of changing pace as well, but tends to be, as you mentioned, quite all full speed ahead.
Yeah, and in terms of singles, Lundbeck didn't do too well. On the other hand, Joe won her class 4, and we saw that even a class 3 can play against class 5 really well, so I wouldn't say that's too much of a disadvantage on the Chinese side now.
We've had some really interesting, cool camera shots of different parts, different chairs, the players. I would have thought, actually, by the red spokes that we were looking at the Chinese wheelchair, but it was Lundbeck's. Color coordination in other areas, like the manicure, for example.
Yeah, normally you wouldn't have a new wheelchair just for the Paralympic Games, so it's easier to change nails, change your hair or something like that to coordinate your team's jerseys.
Yeah, I didn't get a new wheelchair for the Games specifically, so I can understand on Lundbeck's side. Now, if you're just joining us, this is a best-of-5 match. First player to win 3 games not only wins the match, but takes the gold medal for classes 4 and 5 in the women's team event. Games played to 11 points, must win by 2, alternate serves every 2 points. And it is Zhou Ying of China to start with the serves. Love all. Very nice, clean forehand, wristy too. She comes into the ball with the racket straight back and then snaps through. Now maybe she'll make more of those, but just looking at that one, it looked a little bit forced, like not an easy shot to play.
Yeah, but this is the one that she was going for, so I guess it was just an initial twitch.
Good use of spin to bring it back wide. Good coverage, Zhou Ying on the deep backhand side.
And the swing by Lundbeck was so long on that forehand that she wasn't able to come back for another one.
Now, head-to-head, these two have played, guess how many times?
Once.
Good guess, good guess, 6. But that's exactly how many Ingela has won, 1 time. 5-1, Zhou Ying, the strong favorite here, leading by 1 point. I'm gonna have you guess more often, that was fun.
Not for me, thanks.
Sorry to hear that, yeah. Flip side to every coin. You can ask me something, I'll guess something way off. Speaking of which, a gift goes way off the back end here. Not by that much, but Lundbeck up by 1 now.
Yeah, another one of those forced backhand attempts from the elbow area.
It is interesting the way she really wraps the racket around. There's a long, I'd say, range of motion there on the wrist.
Yeah, she wants to put top spin on it. But of course, in this elbow area, with the backhand, you don't have the space to do the swing with the arm, so everything has to be in the wrist.
Nice fake, the upper body goes, and it looks like she's gonna go deep to the forehand corner of her opponent, and then she hits it behind on the opposite side. Clever play. Gets that first wristy backhand in, but it's blocked right back in the follow-up attack trouble.
Yeah, the right idea to play it deep into the backhand, just off the table by a bit.
This one's not coming back. It is a no return ticket here, a one-way to the barriers. So clean, racket head down, just up and through.
And a thing to remember here that, yeah, Lundbäck is left-handed, so another thing to consider for Zhu.
A bit of fortune off the top of the net as it crawls over, so Lundbäck ties it up. Zhou here with the serves. Jeez. She says, whoa, sorry. Woo. 2 in a row. Saving them up for later, that TTKB, Table Tennis Karma Bank. A little bit more calculated on this, doesn't go for broke, but spins it for placement right at the baseline. Not the widest shot, because she doesn't want to set herself up for the wide forehand coming back. And Lundbäck now with 2 game points. And a deep tomahawk serve at the baseline off the pip. She takes game number 1. Only 1 victory against this opponent out of 6 attempts. And she starts off, she's got her choice of drinks in the corner and a high five to go with it. We'll see. This is the battle for the gold medal. Lundbäck versus Zhou. Game 2 coming up in just a bit.
Time.
And we are back for game number 2 with Ingela Lundbäck for Sweden and Zhou Ying in this decisive 3rd match of women's teams class 4 and 5 combined. First one went to Lundbäck with just a 3-point margin.
And good to get the 2nd point despite giving away the first one on serve.
She was expecting the ball on the other side of the table. Could catch the first one, but then she was too late on the 2nd return.
Oh, this is excellent. Short game up near the net. Finishing shot with the backhand. So clean and fast. This makes her dangerous. It adds more to the pressure that Lundbäck already has.
Yeah, Lundberg really successful with her serves so far. Also in the doubles, where it normally shouldn't play as much role.
Nice use of side spin here. They played mirroring shots. The backhand where you bend around the outside of the ball to add some side spin. Good placement right onto the elbow here. An attack down the middle of the table on the parallel.
And patiently waiting for the right opportunity to open up.
So 1 point between them now. Second serve for Zhou Ying. I was trying to find where the sounds were coming from. The yeah. You do have a very active bench sometimes. Nice angle here. Lundberg bringing it back to the other side. Quick. Again, we saw this in the doubles, but she was good in the short game, taking the ball early from out in front to put the pressure on and find those angles. That goes side. They'll play it again. Let's serve. Lundberg very quick to call it. I like that. We've seen a lot of good sportsmanship from all teams here.
And we do have umpires, but it's in most cases the players who can see and call those kinds of shots best. They're the ones sitting at the table and with the best feeling of where something went.
A little bit more than sorry. So sorry here as this one dribbles off and the side spin carries it even more out of reach. Again, just more in the IOU department of the bank account. Good movement here. That left hand on the wheel getting her perfectly in for that shorter shot on the forehand side.
Right into the body, long on the end line.
Now this is tough. When you've got the breaks, the nets are going your way, and still your opponent recovers and gains a 2-point lead. A good heavy push here, a lot of backspin to bring this one back into the net. Now remember, Lundberg is up 1-0 in games right now. It's Zhou who's got her back against the ropes. Good opportunity created, a long way to come back, but Lundberg trying to play it deep at the baseline. Can't put it down.
Yeah, she was just a little bit too far off, wrong with the angle on her racket.
This is so fast and so deep. Second serve here, chance to tie it up.
She just got back from Zhou what she was giving on.
And that's a big point for Zhou. It sets her up with 2 game points, serves on her side. She dries off the ball in the shirt just to make sure it's got full traction. That is the responsibility of the server, to dry the ball. Oh, kill shot, leans from the middle, really moves the upper body well to create that space for the forehand, and it all pays off. Zhou Ying with 1 game on the scoreboard, so a start to something good, but still a ways to go. Game number 3, we'll see who takes the lead in just a bit. Players back to the table for game 3. Ingela Ludenbeck stretching out that shoulder here, making sure she can cover the corners for a very fast player on the other side, Zhou Ying, world rank number 1 in class 4. Nice placement here. To find that, she has to play it right off the bounce and take some chances. Oh, side spin there. The chop block to bring the side spin on with the backspin. Sounded like it caught the edge of the racket, just missing the timing on the forehand.
It's a more tricky shot to make with the pimpled rubbers in the first place. Oh, but she does it now.
Which shot were you describing that's more tricky on the forehand?
Yeah, that one.
That big full stroke forehand?
Exactly.
It's funny, I guess we are used to the smaller stroke, flatter shots. I wonder if she has a hair in the mouth. It's a few times we've seen her trying to get it out. Know that feeling where you think you've got it, but then it just appears a few seconds later. So remember, this is for the gold medal. Lundbeck up by 1 on the receive.
The winner takes it all, so to speak, since we have Sweden here.
I was just thinking.
But well, silver for the loser, so that's not exactly nothing.
Yeah, we'll see who ends up being the dancing queen out here and who needs an SOS. That'll probably be the last ABBA reference I make.
Unless you have something about Waterloo as well.
Well, we'll see on the timeout if they have a Waterloo break. Waterloo bottle? Here we go. That was close. Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I would say so, but yeah, we have a little bit of a different view. Let's go.
That looks like side. I mean, that angle doesn't really help too much.
Yeah, but we saw it here with the straight view and
seemed pretty clearly out of reach. Well, she's got to take those chances. It is a very fine margin, really.
yeah, and it is always a point that you're searching for, so that edge right on the line.
So Zhou in front by 1 here as Lundbeck cools herself off. There are certain expressions that are only made in Japan, and one of them is when you turn your head sideways and go.
It would seem she was a little bit rattled by that call of an out, but at least net's still playing in her favor.
Oh, nice angle here. The danger of playing it short and wide is that if your opponent can reach it, that's exactly what they can do. Has the time here, turns around the side of the ball and plays it to the backhand, which, as you mentioned, for a player in a wheelchair is always tougher to reach across your body.
Yeah, and Zhou already was in that corner, so perhaps not the smartest decision to try and shorten it there.
Nice exchange here. They're going back and forth, point for point. Remember, whoever wins this game is one game away from bringing their team and their country a gold medal. A little bit off the top of the net again. She does have the net on her side so far. But she recovers from that big forehand. We've got to give her credit for coming back and playing the backhand down the middle. That shot, the spanking backhand down the middle of the table. This almost never comes back. Take a look at how she gets up and in. Oh, that's very, very close in terms of contact or leaving the seat.
Yeah, I would even go as far as to say that she was lucky the umpires didn't pay too much attention to it.
I'm with you. That replay, we had actually the perfect angle to see on that replay.
Yeah, easy for us to say.
Right. So, good effort pays off, and now Lundbeck at 9-all with the serves on her side. What's she gonna do? Down the middle of the table, the pips on the forehand side of the racket at baseline earns her game point, and not just the equipment, but the placement of the shot and the gutsy play. Game point Lundbeck. I think that's the right idea. She doesn't land the shot, but she earns the opportunity and really just has to take that.
Yeah, it wouldn't be much use just giving an easy return.
That forehand so strong under pressure, a big point, the most vocal reaction we've heard yet from Zhou Ying this match. Doesn't miss by much, but it is Zhou Ying who takes it 12-10, a narrow escape, and she is up 2-1, one game away from a fourth-time gold medal for Team China in this event. Classes 4 and 5, we shall see the women's team gold medal match between Sweden and China. Game number 4 of the deciding match coming up. Stay right here.
Time.
Players back to the table for game number 4. Ingela Lundbeck of Sweden on screen, down 1-2 in games. It is a must-win for survival, looking to send it to the 5th and deciding game. And Zhou Ying in pink of China, 1 game away from gold for the team.
So close so far.
That's an interesting phrase. Oh, beautiful backhand, the reach. It's been a while since we've complimented Lundbeck on this shot. She did it very well in doubles and at the start of the match, but it's been Zhou Ying who's been strong in over the table recently. That is too good. I mean, it's right to the backhand. To reach there is tough, but when you're trying to stay close to the table, which tactically I think Lundbeck is going to want to do here, not much you can do about that shot.
No, the best thing to do about it is prevent it from happening again, which means, of course, not allowing Zhou that position.
And that's what she's done. She's played deep to the backhand a few times now to keep that forehand angle off the table. Pun intended. Good placement. It's fine. It is fine margins when you're flirting with that middle and allowing the opponent to turn, but putting it just on the body side of the elbow.
Yeah, and especially with how far to her backhand side Zhou can lean if she wants to make that forehand shot to allow herself the space for the forehand.
Second serve here.
Middle to middle, then bring in Lundbäck just a little bit out of position with one deep backhand and back to the middle. Did the trick.
Corner of the table, but perfect placement in terms of depth. She does have several to cash in. Now this is an opportunity, a good opportunity for Lundbäck. She has the shot she wants. And I think we're gonna see the timeout here. That's what it is. So 2 points between them. The Swede down by 2, also down in games. What do you think she has to do to turn this around?
Well, probably just attack a little bit more herself, because it was Zhou who was coming to those first shots at the start of this game 4. Easier said than done when you're up against a player like that, but this is the time when she has to turn it around.
I love China written in English there. Was distracted by the English, didn't try for the Chinese, but we did talk about the team wheelchairs and how personalizing them. I mean, there have been a lot of interesting things to consider here. For those of you that are newer to the Paralympics, for me, this is my first Paralympics, and it's been very fascinating to sort of get to hear from the insiders about, yeah, expression, self-expression, how the wheelchair is part of the body, more or less, spending so much time, and just sort of what life is like for these athletes in many ways. Also, of course, mothers, career women. What was that?
Lundbäck wasn't happy about something, not sure what it was, but this point won't help.
Yeah, some good pressure early on, but when she goes defensive, just leaves it a bit high in the middle. Good persistence from Zhou to cover the backhand corner. This one a little bit more shallow on the table, but still you'd imagine it's fairly low to the net. Again, tough to see from that camera angle, but recognizing the placement on the table. Lundbäck fighting 2 big serves here, down 5-7. I think it might be time between serves that she's not happy about. Oh, that is so strong.
So fast, even just watching it on camera, difficult to follow.
Yeah.
And once again, this one even perfectly in the corner.
Coaching is allowed between points, so the bench getting very involved to try to help their player through. Zhou Ying 2 points away. Lundbeck still fighting for every point, and she has to here. It is for her survival and that of the Swedes for a chance to take the gold medal. It must go to game 5. This is a tough one. Early in the match, we saw that backhand fall flat the same way, and it's also paid off on several occasions. But it is now 4 gold medal points for China to have their 4th consecutive gold medal in class 4 and 5. Tries to finish it off with authority, but a well-placed serve saves gold medal points. Catches the edge of the racket. It is Zhou Ying and the women of China who bring home the gold once again, and Sweden made it an outstanding match, taking the doubles from the start. A good fight by Anna-Karin Ahlqvist, and here Ingela Lundbeck definitely making it interesting from the start, but Zhou Ying showing her superiority in this match with some very excellent play. I still think she had a few in the bank had she needed them.
Yeah, and the Swedes put up an excellent fight. It was a close match, even though the both Chinese won their singles 3-1. And an upgrade in terms of a medal for the Swedes in each case, after a bronze in London and 4th place in Rio.
But congratulations to the women of China, the women's team champions for classes 4 and 5. So with the masks of China on, we will have the flag we know so well, and later the national anthem we've heard many times. Once again, the country that sets the standards for table tennis throughout the world and motivates the rest of us to continue learning, striving, and reaching to become better players. Thumbs up, indeed. Halbange, outstanding job. You guys were great, and you've earned it. We'll have victory ceremonies to come. An outstanding final play that came down to the wire. Stick around, you're watching Tokyo 2020, the Paralympic Games.
The match down on table 6, and victory for People's Republic of China, winning the overall game 2-1. The individual game was Zhou Ying beating Ingela Lundbeck 3-1. So the overall tie 2-1, and the gold medal will be going to the People's Republic of China.
テーブル6試合が終わりました。シングルスで2つ取りました中国中華人民共和国が2対1優勝、金メダル獲得ということになります。金メダリスト2人を擁した中華人民共和国が勝者です。
So back onto table 2 we go. Great Britain against China. Will Bailey is 1 up in this singles.
一方テーブル2の方は中国が1つ取ってシングルスに入っています。
Yan Shu wins 3 games to 1. 7-11, 15-13, 11-6 and 11-4.
ご覧のように2試合目は中華人民共和国代表ヤン・シュウ選手7対11、15対13、11対6、11対4トータル3対1で勝利しました。
And so with an overall victory in the tie of 2 matches to 0 in the men's teams classes 6 to 7 in the gold medal match, victory to People's Republic of China.
ご覧のように男子団体6 to 7 2対0をもちまして勝者は中華人民共和国でした。
So that's our 3 gold medal matches through this morning into afternoon session. We now follow with the 3 victory ceremonies. The first one will be the women's teams class 9 to 10, followed by women's teams class 4 to 5, and the match that we've just seen the completion of, the victory ceremony for the men's teams class 6 to 7. The 3 ceremonies will be back to back and they're coming up very shortly.
ではこの後準備が整い次第3つ表彰式を行います。今朝から行ってきた3つの決勝戦の表彰式を行います。まず最初に行うのが女子団体クラス9から10の表彰式です。今しばらくお待ちください。
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the women's team, class 9 to 10.
皆様、ただいまより女子団体クラス9から10の表彰式を行います。
Please welcome the medalists.
メダリストをお迎えください。
Konnichiwa and irashaimase. Hello and welcome to Tokyo 2020, the Paralympic Games, coming to you live from Tokyo Metropolitan Gymnasium. This is the wonderful world of table tennis, and we are getting into the victory ceremony for the women's team event classes 9 and 10. Representations from all over the world here for the top women.
And for once in the team event, it's not going to be the anthem of China we'll be listening to.
Fascinating, a rare occasion in the table tennis world. But that means that there were some very strong teams and competitors for them to perform against.
All coming up here. 4 teams, 2 bronzes.
The medals will be presented by
メダルの贈呈は
Dr. Mike Peters, Chief Executive Officer of the International Paralympic Committee.
マイク・ピータース IPC 最高
And
執行
our
責任者
medal presenters,
Accompanied by
Dr. Mike Peters, IPC Chief Executive Officer,
the hero,
accompanied
Executive
by
Board member
Mr.
of Tokyo
Higashimura
Organizing Committee
Kunihiro,
of the Olympic
Tokyo
and Paralympic
2020 Executive
東村
Board
邦
Member.
弘東京オリンピック・パラリンピック競技大会組織委員会理事
Bronze medalist representing Brazil and representing People's Republic of China.
So the 5 bronze medalists representing 2 countries,
共和国
Brazil and China. Bruna Costa Alexandra, Jennifer Marquez Barinos, and Daniel Rauen for Brazil.
Some very spectacular athletes to watch. Had a chance to see Bruna in the singles event go all the way to the gold medal match. And she will be someone to keep an eye on. From lobs to touch shots to attacks and everything else, she's very strong. But these women here, Xiong Guiyan and Zhao Xiaojing of China, bronze medals to add to the medal count for China. Table tennis is an absolutely fertile soil field for the medals in the Chinese camp.
And a nice souvenir to go with those medals, the victory bouquets, along with the Paralympic 2020 mascot Someti.
So again, a bright future for many of the players.
Silver medalist representing Australia.
And now our silver medalists.
オーストラリア
They come from a land down under, and they come all the way to the land of the rising sun to take silver medals. Lei Li Na, Millie Melissa Tapper, and Yang Chen, the gold medalist in the singles event over Natalia Partika. Yang Chen on the right, Millie Tapper there in the middle, and Lei Li Na on the far left. So the team spirit here to sort of knight each other with these silver medals.
A nice touch while the presenters can't do it this time. A consequence of the COVID regulations, of course.
Now I think Australia, you and I have been talking about gearing up in the paras because Brisbane will be having Paralympic Games in the not too distant future.
金メダリスト
And here we have the Paralympic champions in women's teams class 9 and 10. Natalia Partika and Karolina Pick we're used to seeing Natalia Partika taking that gold, but after she came short in the singles after 4 consecutive titles, she's taking yet another gold home after the team events.
And I do have to say, while I haven't been close to most of the athletes here just because it's been challenging, I've had a chance to see Natalia Partika in person twice. Once after her semifinal loss in singles, and just now after winning the gold. And in both cases, she had an incredible attitude. And now we have a chance to hear the Polish national anthem. So if you can, please stand.
ポーランド国歌の演奏です。
There you have it, the Polish national anthem, courtesy of these two right here, the women of Poland. So really, the eyes said it all, the smiles shining through those eyes. A very proud moment for Natalia Partika.
And now a chance to show off those smiles for a couple of photos before the masks go back on and the curtain falls for these players on Tokyo 2020.
So Karolina Peck on the right, and Natalia Partika, who spent more than half of her life as the gold medalist in the women's singles class 10. Really such a legend within the table tennis world, Olympian and Paralympian, and 2 players out there right now, Melissa Tapper and Natalia Partika, share that they've played the Olympic Games for their country and the Paralympic Games. But all the athletes together, the best in classes 9 and 10, with their medals, their bouquets, and all the hard work, not just for the past 2 weeks, but for years to become the best athletes in the world. And it's moments like these that they can stop and smell the roses, both literally and figuratively, as they celebrate the fruits of their labor here in Tokyo 2020, the Paralympic Games.
So coming up shortly, we'll have the second.
So stick around, we've got more victory ceremonies to come right here. Congratulations once again to the women of Brazil, China, Australia, and last but definitely not least, the women of Poland for your gold medals. More ceremonies to come. You're watching Tokyo 2020, the Paralympic Games.
続いても女子団体です。クラス4から5の表彰式、準備が整い次第執り行います。
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the women's team class 4 to 5.
皆様、ただいまより女子団体クラス4から5の表彰式を行います。
Please welcome the medalists.
メダリストをお迎えください。
Konnichiwa and irashaimase. Hello and welcome back to Tokyo 2020, the Paralympic Games. This is the victory ceremony for the women's teams classes 4 and 5 events. And the medalists come out to the podium to collect what they've earned. A lot of characters, stars of the sport here. Some personalities you might have gotten familiar with over the last, say, 2 weeks of your life.
Yeah, a lot of those we have seen on the podium in their singles events already. So, not exactly new faces, or at least not many of them.
And some of them we've seen for years on YouTube, and will see for years to come. But live earlier today in the action, those who fought for the gold medal. It was quite a thrilling gold medal competition, the team matchup.
メダルの贈呈は
And here we have our medal presenter, Dr. Mike Peters, IPC Chief Executive Officer.
IPC 最高執行責任者
Accompanied by
続きまして
Mr.
Accompanied by Mr. Higashimura Kunhiro, Tokyo 2020 Executive
東
Board
村
Member.
邦弘東京オリンピック・パラリンピック競技
A
大
deep
会
bow to you and of course to all the players who will be coming
bronze medalist
on the podium now.
Great Britain and representing
First, the two teams
メダリスト英国および
from the semi-finals coming for their bronze medals, Great Britain and Serbia. Nada Matic, Borislava Perić-Ranković and Ana Pervulović for Serbia.
And on the screen here on the left, Sue Bailey, 48 years old, world rank number 11, has played every Paralympics in this century. And the newcomer with the red hair, Megan Shackleton, 22 years old, world rank number 9, an outstanding debut performance.
Only Borislava Perić-Ranković giving the medal to Nada Matic. Just these two competed and will now receive their award after a silver medal from Rio in the team event.
And again, a lot to look forward to from these two right here. Generations come together, wisdom shared from Sue Bailey, but Megan Shackleton already with a lot of experience under her belt despite her first Paralympic performance.
But the first Paralympic medal for the British duo.
representing Sweden.
In second place and silver medalists representing Sweden are on your left, Anna-Karin Åqvist and Ingela Lundbäck on your right.
Anna-Karin Åqvist.
A step up for these two from their bronze in London and the fourth place in Rio at the team event.
Really a spectacular effort by both.
Great friends, great fighters. Both a little bit disappointed in their singles events here, but with a new shiny silver medal to add to their collections.
Gold medalist and Paralympic champion representing
And now, for the fourth time in a row, defending back-to-back-to-back-to-back gold medalists in this event, Team China, but here represented by some fresh faces. We've got Zhang Bian on the left, Zhang Bian, world rank number 1 in class 5 at 35 years old. In the middle, we have Zhang Miao, 30 years old, world rank number 3. Was not able to play in the final, but Zhou Ying on the right gets her gold. 32 years old, world rank number 1 in class 4. They played so well together and had a very, very worthy opposing team on the other side of the table in Team Sweden. But we're just the stronger, and really such a masterclass in tactics, mental composure, and what happens when you put in hard work and never give up. So now, if you're a table tennis fan, it is your national anthem, the national anthem of China. If you can, please stand. It's almost strange when we hear any national anthem that is not the Chinese national anthem at the end of a major table tennis event. The familiar national anthem, for a reason, these athletes right here, and the masks are off. A moment for the pictures of the stars.
They had to put quite a fight to win those golds this time.
Definitely exciting to watch. And the Chinese players right there saying, are we ready to come together? Have we given you the pictures you need? They will momentarily come together. As sports does bring the world together. I think in this day and age with social media, the internet being so accessible, you have a passion, you have a hobby, you discover a new interest in table tennis, and you realize you have friends all over the world through the table tennis community. So they make some space here for their rivals.
And oftentimes their friends.
And in the end, that's what it's all about. These players here do come together. The battle is over for now. A time to celebrate, rejoice, come together. Smile, hold those heads and medals high. And then back to the life of training. Maybe being a lawyer, maybe being a mother, maybe studying economics, developing a startup, but a lot of training for Paris 2024 to come.
Yeah, these 2020 Paralympics taking place in 2021 were long anticipated, and it just makes that time until Paris shorter.
So silver lining all around, as we learned from AC Alquist. See the silver lining in every situation and come out stronger on the other side. So congratulations to the women of Great Britain, Serbia, Sweden, and last but not least, our gold medalists, Team China, for your outstanding performance here. It's been a lot of work. Shinkula and Gongxi Niman, congratulations for all your medals. Stick around, we've got one more victory ceremony to come. You're watching Tokyo 2020, the Paralympic Games.
女子団体のクラス4から5の表彰式を終えました。次の表彰式は男子団体クラス6から7を予定しています。
Ladies and gentlemen, our next victory ceremony, the men's teams class 6 to 7, will be just shortly after 3 o'clock, around about 20 minutes from now.
お待たせしております男子団体クラス6から7の表彰式ですが、この後3時過ぎの開始を予定しております。この後3時過ぎの開始になります。
So, ladies and gentlemen, whilst we're waiting for the victory ceremony, let's have a look around Tokyo, because we've been quite busy in the Metropolitan Gymnasium with table tennis, but there's been lots of action going on around this city. So let's take a look at some of the action from yesterday.
ではその間、ハイライト映像をご覧いただきたいと思います。数日間雨に見舞われている東京エリアですが、各会場の様子を見ていきたいと思います。スクリーンにご注目ください。
I think there's a marriage proposal as well.
What a moment.
They've all got together. It's Durand over the line, 11.49 seconds. First position in 56.18 seconds. Going across is Catherine de Bruyne of Switzerland. Now Molashare takes it, and it is Switzerland who pick up another gold medal. It's going to be Marcel Hug who's going to make it a third Paralympic gold at these championships.
Incredible. Elizabeth Mareshko is going to break the world record, but she's not going to win this race. The world record for Zhang Yuyan. It is Kokoli who is flying faster now. For the first time, she is going to be a gold medalist at the Paralympic Games in Paralympic record time. Papp takes the win. It's been a long time coming for Bianca Papp, and it has finally happened for the 21-year-old Hungarian. But it is the European champ, the world champ, who is the defending champion, and he does it in world record time ahead of Raimondi's Mare.
What an absolutely dominant ride by Dame Sarah Story.
A gold last week in the C5 women's individual pursuit. A gold in the time trial a couple of days ago. She gets the trifecta. It'll be Great Britain again. It is Benjamin Watson. He won the time trial. He'll now win the double.
Italy triumphant in the mixed 815 relay. Chen Jianqin is the gold medalist in the men's T1-2 road race. Diana Mayuka completes the victory in very impressive fashion in 1 hour and 58 seconds.
And he's done it. The gold medal goes to China.
There it is, Xue Chuan takes it. And there it is, Jai Shan takes it. He does the unthinkable.
Wang Qing with that gold medal. He defends his title from Rio. And he really is excellent athlete who has shown just what he can do here.
But we are going to a one-arrow shoot-off, and this is incredible. Let's go to yes! Zara Namati! And she becomes a triple Paralympic Games gold medalist. And yet again, the Netherlands
have a player in the final. Kamichi Yui of Japan, the home player. She's into the final.
Kuneno is through to the final. What a game! What a performance from the #1 seed, the world-ranked best player. Ekbri has the victory in an incredible game of tennis. Dig. Oh no, what a way to lose it, a double touch. And it is the Russian Paralympic Committee who have taken the match. Maybe now, is that off the hands? The Islamic Republic of Iran, they are through to the final.
And the Dutch will play for gold in Tokyo. They win the semifinal by 10 points over their arch rivals from Germany, 52-42 the final. Because Team China is heading to the gold medal game for the first time in women's wheelchair basketball, 41-36 win.
The 2016 defending champions Turkey have booked their place in the final of Tokyo 2020 with an 8-5 win over host nations Japan. She's found the back of the net! On the left-hand side, could this get any more exciting?
And it's saved!
USA! And that's another from China. And it's Yang Mingwan, who's been absolutely on fire today. And after 13 years of waiting, China have another shot at gold. And a brilliant offensive performance from Brazil. And they booked their place in the gold medal match. Will this be their first Paralympic title?
The bat, celebration time for Argentina with victory over China, but Japinho, they can't do anything about him when he's moving through the heart. Oh no! Devastation for the Moroccans, but elation for Brazil. They will progress to the gold medal match as they have done every time they've come to the Paralympics.
Kish showing why he is the double European champion this year and the world champion. Look at that. Nobody was catching Laura Sugar with an impressive paddle. And in lane 2 from the refugee Paralympic team, Anas Al Khalifa. Here they come. Martlou's going to get it from New Zealand. What a finish. And now it's getting close again, but it is McGrath who's going to come across on a bit of an angle here. And he gets it.
Comfortable win for the second seeds here in straight games in Group B.
Really nice play shot to finish off a great match.
Pairing of Cynthia Mathez and Karin Suter-Eref of Switzerland, a well-earned win.
And he only needs the one, and he seals it in trademark style with the drop shot.
Smashing the red ball away, fantastic shot. Fifth ball here from Diana Spina. Beautiful shots. What a celebration.
That's released the jack. He's pleased with that.
So we've already had a look around Tokyo at action from yesterday. Let's have a very brief look now at what happened under this roof yesterday for table tennis.
先ほどは各会場のハイライトをご覧いただきましたけども、卓球はどうでしょう。昨日のハイライトをここでご覧いただきます。スクリーンにご注目ください。
World of table tennis got an exciting day ahead. And that does it. The tomahawk serve side and topspin. China takes the gold. Tao Ning lifted completely out of the chair. The celebrations here.
It was just too easy. 2-0 their win over the Netherlands. It is China who take the gold medal.
There it is. Xue Chuan takes it. So Xue Chuan, the winner here with Li Chen, they will take the gold medal.
And he's done it. The gold medal goes to China. Just look at the celebrations.
And there it is. Chai Shuang takes it. He does the unthinkable. And look at this. Man, has it been an emotional week or what?
Chinese delight here. They really are the dominant nation in table tennis.
So whilst we're waiting for this victory ceremony, let's take a look at some facts surrounding the Paralympic Games Tokyo 2020. Well, the Paralympic Games were founded by Sir Ludwig Guttmann, a doctor who moved to England and was based at Stoke Mandeville Hospital. The first edition of the Stoke Mandeville Games, predecessor to the Paralympics, was held in July 1948 with 16 injured servicemen and competing in archery. Well, the first Paralympic Games took place in Rome in 1960, featuring 400 athletes and from 23 countries.
それではここで少しパラリンピックについてご紹介しましょう。パラリンピックはイギリスに渡り、ストーク・マンデビル病院を拠点に活動していた医師グッドマンによって創設されました。パラリンピックの前身であるトーク・マンデビル競技大会第1回大会、1948年7月29日に開催され、負傷した軍人軍属16名がアーチェリーで競い合いました。第1回パラリンピック大会は1960年ローマで開催され、23カ国から400名の選手が参加しました。
Well, the International Paralympic Committee was founded in 1989 to act as the global governing body of the Paralympic movement.
国際パラリンピック委員会はパラリンピックムーブメントの世界的な統括組織として1989年に設立されました。
Tokyo has made history as the first city to stage the Paralympic Games for a second time, having hosted originally in 1964.
東京は1964年にパラリンピックを開催して以来2回目の開催となります。
The Paralympic mascot for Tokyo 2020 was called Someiti, which comes from Somei Yoshino, a popular cherry blossom variety, and additionally echoes the English phrase "so mighty." Well, the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic torch is designed to depict the shape of a flame. The 5 flames generated from the petal unite in the centre of the torch, emulating even greater brilliance.
東京2020パラリンピックのマスコットはソメイヨシノに由来するソメイティと呼ばれ、英語のソーマイティにも対応しています。東京2020パラリンピックの聖火は炎の形をイメージしてデザインされていて、花びらから発生した5つの炎が聖火の中心で1つとなり、大きな輝きを放ちます。
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the men's teams class 6 to 7.
皆様、ただいまより男子団体クラス6から7の表彰式を行います。
Please welcome the medalists.
メダリストをお迎えください。
Konnichiwa and irashaimase. Hello and welcome to Tokyo 2020, the Paralympic Games. This is Tokyo Metropolitan Gymnasium, where all the table tennis action has been going down. from the very start of Tokyo 2020. And this is the men's team classes 6 and 7 victory ceremony. A lot of spectacular players out here, a variety of characters, and really some top-level table tennis. Now, for those of you newer to the Paralympics, the classifications work like this. The lower the number, the greater the impairment. Class 11, intellectual impairment. Classes 6 through 10 are standing, physical impairments, and classes 1 through 5 are seated. The players are in wheelchairs, so classes 6 through 7, the greatest impairments within the standing classes. That said, watching some of these players play, even very proud, strong semi-pro players would be defeated at the hands of these athletes, who I've been watching, some of whom I've been watching for years and years, simply because they're so present on the internet as superstars.
The medals will be presented by
Our two presenters for this ceremony, Dr. Mike Peters, IPC Chief Executive Officer,
accompanied by Mr. Higashimura Kunihiro,
accompanied by Mr. Higashimura Kunihiro, Tokyo 2020 Executive Board Member.
bronze medalists.
And the first to receive their bronze medals, the teams of Spain and Germany. For Spain, Jordi Morales and Alvaro Valera. Morales, class 7, 35 years old, quarterfinalists in the singles. Valera, 38, class 6. And here for Germany, Thomas Rau and Björn Schnacke. Rau on your left, 37, class 6. Standing next to him, Björn Schnacke, 49, class 7. Silver medalists from London, these two, with a bronze here at the Paralympic Games Tokyo 2020. And the first ever Paralympic medals for the two Germans.
Silver medalist representing Great Britain.
And now our silver medalists representing Great Britain. You can see the pride they feel. They worked hard together. This two-man team, Will Bailey on the left and Paul Karabardak on the right. Will Bailey, 33 years old, world rank number 3 in class 7, a bronze in London and a gold in Rio in singles, a silver in singles here in Tokyo 2020, and also one of the big influences for PK. Paul Karabardak in his fourth, both of them actually, their fourth Paralympic Games. PK is 35 years old, world rank number 8 in class 6. This is an outstanding performance from these two real fighters, skills at the table, and one of the two best teams in classes 6 and 7 here at Tokyo 2020. Really a spectacle to watch, those two players. But the only team that could stop them on their mission, their quest for gold, a team that has been very strong in singles and in teams. These players represent Team China. We've got Chen Chao, Liao Ke and Yen Shuo. Chen Chao on the far left. He's 34 years old, world rank number 9 in class 6. It's his third appearance as he presents his teammate, Liao Ke. The Alkali in his third appearance, 31 years old, world rank number 4 in Class 7, as he presents the gold medal to Yen Shuo. Bronze in Rio, gold in Tokyo, and gold in teams as well. Yen Shuo, 26 years old, only his second Paralympic Games. He's world rank number 1 in Class 7. And this is the world ranking order and the team that has been brought here by Team China to represent and take yet another gold medal for China. But for these individuals, a very proud moment, because through all the training and sacrifices, it's finally paid off. And now, the most recognizable and famous national anthem in table tennis, the national anthem of China. If you can, please stand. And an encore performance of the song that represents the hardest working athletes in the game. Congratulations to all of our medalists from Spain, Germany, Great Britain, and last but not least, the gold medalist, Team China, Zhongguo Dui. So they will come together. Masks will be off for this photo opportunity. I think Will Bailey dropped his mask. Table tennis reactions, quick to pick them up. The coming together part is going to happen soon. It's so interesting just to see the different personalities of the players and what these, well, outcomes mean. I will say that one of my favorite things about watching the Paralympics is not only the reactions and celebrations, the passion from the athletes, but after the matches, it's not just a slap of the hand and a walk away. There are high fives, there are hugs. I saw coaches from China hugging athletes from Great Britain and vice versa. I mean, it's really just such a compassionate, expressive field of play out here that really gets the emotions going.
Yeah, the athletes are in this together, and only rivals for those couple of minutes behind the tables, but other than that, table tennis is what brings them together and what they share in life.
Right now, sharing the podium along with the moment to enjoy the fruits of their labors. So as they say thank you, a big thank you to the athletes for not only the entertainment, but on behalf of the countries they represent, and even those they don't, just for spectators alone, thank you for the wonderful show, and congratulations, Germany, Spain, Great Britain, and our gold medalists, China. That will wrap things up for the first session of the day. We've got more gold medal matches to play in the second and final session of the day. Make sure you get your fix of the table tennis action from Tokyo 2020, the Paralympics. More to come, but hydrate, do what you need to do, talk to your friends and family, spread some love. We look forward to seeing you back for more table tennis action right here from Tokyo Metropolitan Gymnasium. You're watching Tokyo 2020, the Paralympic Games.
9 to 10. We'll see you back here. 5 o'clock the action starts, so maybe in just under a couple of hours' time.
男子団体 クラス6から7の表彰式を終えました。以上をもちましてセッション19終了となります。この後夕方5時からのセッション20、男子団体クラス1、2、2、そしてクラス9、2、10の決勝戦を行います。もちろんその後表彰式も予定しています。
Well, there you have it. A nice trip down memory lane from an exciting morning session. The action, the drama, and the medals that came through. We've got more action to come in the second session of the day right here from Tokyo Metropolitan Gymnasium. You're watching Tokyo 2020, the Paralympic Games.